Over 250 million vehicles can be found on the road today, and they all have one thing in common. All of them emit greenhouse gases and contribute to the issue of global warming. They trap the heat and prevent it from leaving the atmosphere and cause the Earth's temperature to rise. Plus, cars need gasoline, which requires expensive foreign oil. Even though it costs almost nothing to get the oil out of the ground, the Middle East overcharges its buyers. This causes the gas prices to climb as high as they did last summer because we are purchasing more oil than we can afford, and the U.S. consumer has to pay. Pun intended. We need to find some way to create a vehicle that is environmentally friendly and reduces the need for foreign oil. The FCX Clarity is Honda's answer to creating more environmentally friendly vehicles. It is a fully operational vehicle that is being tested in California and leased by a select number of people for $600 per month for 3 years. This car is powered by hydrogen instead of gasoline, which allows it to get up to 60 miles per gallon in the city and on the highway. Here is how the hydrogen fuel cell works.
A PEM fuel cell is made of a catalyst-coated membrane between two plates. Hydrogen is fed on one side, oxygen on the other. The hydrogen splits into a proton, which goes through the membrane, and an electron, which is captured as useful electricity. The proton and the electron combine with the oxygen, generating water and heat. A fuel cell will operate continuously as long as fuel is supplied. By combining single cells, a fuel cell stack can be made to produce the required amount of power.
One of the many benefits to hydrogen is that it can be made on site. The Shell station pictured here is located in California. This fueling station creates hydrogen through the electrolysis of water using solar energy right on the roof of the station. It is then compressed and stored right there at the site for daily fueling. With this technology, people can now know that they will fill up their cars with a clean, efficient fuel that will no longer emit terrible greenhouse gases. Not only is Honda looking into hydrogen, but General Motors is trying to do the same. Chevrolet also has its own hydrogen vehicle out on the road in Southern California, New York City, and Washington, D.C. Instead of creating a brand new model like Honda, Chevrolet took its existing Chevrolet Equinox SUV and modified it to use hydrogen. The Equinox hydrogen vehicle shares the same properties as Honda's FCX Clarity. Besides hydrogen, Chevrolet is testing one of the most revolutionary propulsion systems with its near-production extended-range electric vehicle, the Chevrolet Volt. The Volt uses a lithium-ion battery to propel the car for the first 40 miles of runtime. After the battery is depleted, a small 4-cylinder engine kicks in to help recharge the battery and extend the driving range of the vehicle to about 400 miles, hence the name Extended Range Electric Vehicle. Chrysler is looking to follow in the footsteps of GM and create its own extended-range electric vehicles. The automaker unveiled the 200C concept car at the 2009 North American International Auto Show with the same extended-range technology as the Volt. Chrysler also introduced 3 other extended-range electric vehicles based on production vehicles: the Chrysler Town & Country for families, and the Jeep Wrangler and Jeep Patriot for the great outdoorsman. As you can see, there are definitely alternatives to the cars you see here. Honda, GM, and Chrysler are looking to improve the environment as well as help the U.S. reduce its dependency on foreign oil. With Honda's FCX Clarity and other fuel cell vehicles, the United States could potentially end its dependence on foreign oil because vehicles like the FCX Clarity require absolutely no oil. Plus, water is not considered a greenhouse gas, and that is all that is emitted from the vehicle. Extended range vehicles do not necessarily eliminate the need for oil, but they definitely decrease the need for it since most people will primarily use the electric power on most driving trips. Emissions from an extended range electric vehicle can also reduce greenhouse emissions up to 50%. GM claims that it will have its Chevrolet Volt out on the road in the fall of 2010, and the Honda FCX Clarity is already out on the road. This shows that vehicles like these are getting closer to becoming replacements for our current vehicles. With over 250 million vehicles out on the road, it's no wonder that the United States has to spend so much money on foreign oil. Last year, we spent over $700 billion in oil. And last year, when President Bush made his speech about the economic recession, we were in debt over $700 billion. See the coincidence? If America switches all of its vehicles over to hydrogen or extended range electric vehicles, we can drastically decrease our dependence on foreign oil. not to mention the amount of greenhouse gases that are emitted into the atmosphere each year.